Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the August 19th, 2025 meeting of the Orange Town Plan and Zoning Commission. I am Commissioner Ozzie Parenti, and with us this evening,
Tom Tarenti.
Paul Kaplan.
Jenny Bowser, Recording Secretary.
Bonnie Side, Court Reporter.
Kevin Cornell.
Jay McGuire.
Jack Demerjen, Zoning Administrator.
all right, great, full attendance tonight. Let's get right to it. Our first item on the agenda is a review of the minutes from the August 5, 2025 meeting. I just had a few things. Under old business, the terms regulation sheet and issuance of fines and those are capitalized. Is that because they're there?
I
Is there
just-
something actually called that, or? Okay.
No, so just lowercase, okay.
All right.
I just was giving them more importance.
I just
than
thought that
they
they're,
were
right.
due.
And I wondered if there was such a document.
Why isn't my name in cap?
I get issuance of fines could.
I think that should be, that is a real thing, okay.
All right. And then, similarly, third line down, or third line up from the bottom of the page. First scheduled POCD hearing, I don't think that needs to be capitalized.
Okay. Got it.
Then my only substantive, or somewhat substantive, changes are on the next page. Top of the page, ZEO Demerjen then spoke of how he issued a violation for an Airbnb about 30 days ago. I would say Airbnb type short-term rental.
Okay.
Because,
Noted.
I don't really know exactly what that terminology Airbnb, I mean, I know, but I don't.
Bed and breakfast. That's
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah, so just like, Airbnb dash
Dash.
type,
Short-term rental about
Yeah.
30 days ago, though.
yeah.
Still, okay.
And I would make the same change on the next line, it begins that Airbnbs are not a permitted use. I would say Airbnb short-term rentals are not a permitted use in Orange.
Okay.
And then in the next sentence, the violation was appealed by the applicant. I would add to the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay.
And there is a meeting scheduled for the end of this week with the applicant and their attorney to discuss the appeal.
Why don't we just put the date? It was September 25th, right?
What's that?
No, this is referring to a meeting that we had prior to that, so there was not a date yet set at this time.
So yeah, it would say scheduled for the end of this week with the applicant and their attorney to discuss the appeal.
Okay. Got it.
And finally, under application for special exception permit or use, the line begins request to construct a 30 by 40 detached garage.
Where is this?
It's about the middle of the page.
Yes.
Stacy and Michael Caterbone.
Yes.
Next line says 30 by 40 foot.
Oh, I got
Garage.
it.
I would say
Okay,
detached garage.
Detached, okay. Got it. Okay.
Otherwise, thought that was okay. I mean, Paul, yeah, you're in a, all right. That's all I had.
Okay, thank you.
Tom, anything? No. Kevin, you weren't here. Jay, anything?
Move that we accept you were looking for a motion?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Move that we accept the minutes for the Orange Zoning Commission for August 5th, 2025 as amended.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay, one abstention. All right, next item on our agenda is old business. Anything to bring up under that topic?
Do we do the sign stuff? I mean, not the sign stuff, but the Airbnb stuff now, or?
I'll touch a little bit on it in my report.
All right, how about under new business?
Last time I was here, before I left you in the sunshine, was thinking that maybe we should schedule a consideration of revising the commercial regulations to change the lot size. Did we put that?
I will also go into that in my report.
I will be silent.
Yeah.
All right, so it sounds like nothing under new business, right? Okay. Then, item 4 on the agenda is the report of the zoning enforcement officer. Jack?
Sure. So, Kevin, September 2nd, which is our next regularly scheduled meeting, Owen is planning on being here to address and just have general conversation on the commercial lot size, potential, language at the state level that's going to be changed. I know the language that we were really concerned about was shot down, but we're trending in that direction. So I know we wanted to talk about maybe preventative measures or regulation amendments that we could do now that will help us in the long run. So Owen will be here on September 2nd.
Owen Weaver.
Owen Weaver, sorry, Owen Weaver,
What was the?
Town Council.
What was the state planning on doing that it didn't?
Specifically, the one that I think of is any commercially zoned property, if this bill went through, would be, as of right, allowed between 2 and 9 units on the property. So
Residential unit.
No, well, yes, residential units, but on commercial property. So any commercially zoned C1, C2 property here would suddenly be eligible for somewhere between 2 and 9 units, and we would not get to review.
Even if our regulations identified residential as a prohibited use.
That's my understanding of it, yes.
Because I'm not sure about, are residential uses in the commercial zone prohibited? And
Depends.
the industrial zone, I think.
Yeah, I believe we allow PRDs, the planned residential developments in our commercial zones.
Yeah.
But I don't think that dwellings are specifically prohibited in either of the commercial zones. So I
All
think
right, but that wouldn't matter even if we had it prohibited.
it would supersede us, yeah. Right.
And
So Owen will be here on September, and he's fully aware of it, it's in his calendar. So if anybody does just have general questions or, upkeep, I think that's a good meeting to bring it up. Suzanne from BFJ Planning, BFJ Planning will also be in attendance. She's 50-50 right now on whether she'll be here or somebody else will be, but she said somebody should be, just to prep us and give us a little info before our second meeting in September on the 16th, where we will be having our POCD public hearing. So all of our noticing has been completed. We have had our final draft. September 16th is when we will be holding the public hearing here, getting any final comments from the public or anybody who wishes to speak before we finalize that draft. POCD, September 16th, Owen, September 2nd. Okay, so next Monday, September 25th, we have a special meeting scheduled for the ZBA. And-
August.
I'm sorry, yes, August, not September, August 25th, next Monday, a week from today, or a week from yesterday, to hear the appeal that we spoke about last time, where I issued a violation for an Airbnb. The applicant has appealed, and we scheduled this special hearing. The appellant's attorney has requested a continuation. That is something that the ZBA themselves are going to have to rule on. So we will be convening there and then addressing that question at the meeting. And based on the feeling of the ZBA and town council, they'll make a determination from there on whether that's something they will proceed on that night or hold off to the regularly scheduled meeting in September.
Jack, your denial, your
Cease and desist.
cease and
order.
desist was predicated on the fact that there was no specific authorization for any short-term rental activity.
Correct. I identified as Airbnbs and bed and breakfasts and things like that as not a permitted use in the residential zone.
It was
and
a-
under,
I don't memorize your
Yeah,
cease and- but I think the basis of it was that they would be conducting a commercial use in the residential zone. which was not permitted.
It's commercial, but it's mainly the use of Airbnb and bed and breakfasts, because, I mean, we could cite commercial use there. The way that we outlined it a few years ago when we had this discussion is the use itself is the problem here for Airbnbs, similar bed and breakfast type of situations. So that's what was listed in the notice. And 38319 specifically says that anything not listed as permitted is prohibited. So that is the basis of what we're gonna be discussing.
Right.
So until we get that finalized, that's about all I have for that. That's about it.
Yeah, we're sort of, I don't know, I think anyway, we're in sort of a holding pattern to see if our read of the regulations carries the day, right? I mean, you know.
You know what, even if it doesn't, I mean, I can't imagine, but even if it doesn't, how do you get around the issue of commercial establishment in the residential zone?
And how do you get around, section 19 that says if it's not identified specifically as being permitted, the use?
I don't know. All right.
Short-term rentals are a very hot topic right
Yeah.
now, so, you know, and we'll have to see where it goes. I know other towns and places have had similar issues and addressed them in their own ways, so we'll have to see what comes out of this and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's premature for us to.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not gonna start drafting regulations, I mean, we have to go through the process.
Yeah,
And, you know,
Until the
have a
appeal
public
is-
hearing.
Until the appeal is heard, we just have to wait for that, and then we'll address it as we see fit moving forward.
Right, there is no state regulation on this at this point
Not
that
to
supersedes anything that we're talking about.
Not to my knowledge, no. I think we have some language in our regs that gets a little hairy, but for the purposes of the appeal on
Right.
Monday, no, I think we're in good shape.
All right. Anything else for Jack on that subject? Okay. All right, the last item on our agenda then for this evening is the petition to amend the regulations that we've submitted on our own initiative. And it's to amend 383-189 of the Orange zoning regulations regarding accent lighting on signage. And we would have done this last week, or our last meeting without you.
You know,
Kevin.
deference isn't something I'm used to, but I'll take it.
You're the author,
So, all right,
and maybe you want to just
sure.
give us your point of view on
So-
it again.
This proposed change came about as a result of an application in the commercial zone for the coffee place where they illuminated the perimeter of the entire facade with, after our meeting, a hidden neon strip that basically turned the entire all of the facades into a sign. But at that point, the way our regulations were written, the permitted sign area was measured about the physical lettering of the signage in a rectangle, as it always had been. And as long as we made them hide the physical neon in a soffit, it was gonna fall under the regulations. So,
It was going to be allowed.
allowed, yes.
Right, it was going to be allowed.
So,
You can't,
go ahead.
because you can't see the.
You can't
it's
see
allowed
the
if you
physical
can't see the
neon, but you
source
can
of the
see the halo.
Right,
The direct source of light.
Yes, you can't physically see the neon strip, but the halo effect still gives them,
What
to
the-
me,
what-
architecturally makes
right.
the whole facade a sign. So what I tried to do with this language was define accent lighting, which was something that was used purely for an aesthetic effect, to, for a commercial, basically aesthetic architectural purpose, and that accent would also be counted in the calculation of this signage. So now if they do that sort of accent lighting, it's gonna be confined to the immediate perimeter around the sign, or it'll exceed the allowable square footage under the regulations. So,
Well, did we look at the definition of sign in the regs? Because I wonder if, I think what Kevin, what he argues makes sense. The building sort of becomes a sign, but I'm not sure that that fits within the definition of sign.
Let's take a look.
well,
'Cause
go ahead.
I'm glad we waited till tonight to do this, because I was, when I finished looking at it in preparation for the last meeting, I didn't see the connection to that coffee shop application.
Okay,
And all I was seeing was just a clarification of how you measure a sign. And you just want to, make it clear that the dimensions of the sign include the accent lighting on that sign,
that,
which the language does,
yes.
but I'm not sure.
So, in connection with the coffee shop, if the language had been written this way when that application came in, and as we saw from the pictures of their existing product, it very clearly turned the entire band above the storefront into a part of the sign and the identity of the coffee shop.
Okay, so going forward then,
Yes,
if it's a national type player, and that's their, their trade dress or whatever.
Yeah.
We're saying no to that. In other words,
we're saying that if you want to do it, you have to do it within the square footage regulation.
but the square footage would limit it,
Would limit it to the area around the immediate sign.
right?
so-
Not the whole building.
Right, I mean, similarly, if someone put up a neon sign that said, go girls, and it went like this, you'd get the message, but we don't want it in the town. So I think that and certainly we can disagree, but I don't think the entire building should be a sign. It could certainly be, in your economic interest to want to identify the entire building as that use, so
Yeah.
that from a half mile or a mile away, you could see it,
Right.
as opposed to being 100 yards away.
And Oz,
Yeah.
I think we've all been exposed to, I mean, maybe not, but McDonald's, for example.
Right.
Okay, in Port Jefferson, okay, it looks nothing like,
Yeah.
so the national chains do bend.
They'll comply.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about, I think there was a Supreme Court case where somewhere up in Simsbury, Avon area, they tried to make McDonald's change the color of their logo. And they were like, no, that's their logo, you can't do that. I don't think we're asking that. We're saying,
Yeah.
we don't want your entire building to be a sign.
It's a reasonable restriction. That's
Yeah.
how you
Did you
characterize
find a definition?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Definition of a sign: any writing, pictorial representation, illustration, decoration, including any material used to differentiate sign canopy from its background, landscaping form, emblem, symbol, design, trademark, banner, flag, pennant, captive balloon, streamer, spinner, ribbon, sculpture, statue, or any other figure or character that you want me to
Well, no.
it, or any other figure or character that is a structure or any part thereof, including the roof or wall of the building.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's the language Kevin's talking about there.
okay,
I mean, the language, the definition of sign covers what,
I believe so.
Yes.
covers what.
Yep.
Including the roof or wall. That's where I
Yes.
was
Yeah.
missing the boat.
All right, so then this doesn't, quite a bit more than what we thought it did when we talked about it briefly last time. Okay. Are we in agreement that the language accomplishes?
Yeah.
'Cause now that I have a better understanding of it, I think it does. Anything further on it?
No, I think even the next subsection hammers it home even more.
That you could
There's
construe
subsection-
the building.
Yeah, subsection B, you know, any figure or character that is written, printed, projected, which light is projected, painted, constructed, or otherwise placed or displayed upon, on the landscaping or a structure or a board. So illuminating a light, think of like I think of the Christmas lights where people have the projector that projects onto their facade. This light would be something similar and definitely falls under that,
All right.
so.
Well, or some of the higher class, you know, signs have what they call halo lighting, and it's sort of a backlight to give a glow. You know, that's really the effect they'll get.
All right, so this gives us a lot more flexibility when it comes time to,
Trying to restrict
right,
the size of the sign.
yeah. Well, but guarding against the kind of situation Kevin describes, where you know, you turn a wall of a building into a sign, it's inappropriate, you know, or we think is inappropriate for the, you know, the commercial zone. All right, then, if there's nothing else on this, can we get a motion to close the public hearing?
Public?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Are you here?
Hi, public.
Okay.
This young lady is running for
Is there-
the zoning board.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone then in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? No, it doesn't appear that there are. Okay. Then, a motion to close the public hearing, please?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion to close the public hearing. All those in favor? I'm sorry, we need a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. So, if there's anything else to discuss on this, we can. Otherwise, someone prepared to make a motion that we,
We just, with
With an effective date.
date of August 26th, is a week from today.
Move that we approve the new language for 383-189 regarding the lighting of the signs, and with an effective date of, you said August 25?
August 26th.
August 26, 2025.
all right, we have a motion to approve the regulation change. We have a second?
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Very good. Like I said, I'm glad we put it off to this meeting, so
Paul, now that you're important in the vice chair, should I be reading those?
I want to amend that to say Kevin's regulation.
Please no.
all right, that's it for our agenda.
Move to adjourn?
Yes. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, meeting's adjourned, 7:22.